Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paula's Soapbox Live. My guest today is a singer, songwriter, and musician out of Nashville. Her latest album is called A Long Way to Go. She's going to be performing this Saturday, June 6th, at the Monterey Farmers Market Grand Opening. Please welcome to the show, Sarah Morey.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sarah.
Thanks for the introduction.
Yeah, you've been doing the singer-songwriter thing for a while. You wrote your first song when you were 7.
Yes. Wow, you have your trivia on. Yeah, I did start writing when I was 7. I've been doing it for as long as I can remember. And yeah, I've never stopped, and it's always been what I wanted to do. So yeah, I'm really excited to be at the farmers market on Saturday. It's going to be really fun.
We're looking forward to having you. You're a very talented performer. Speaking of that first song that you wrote, though, do you remember what that was or what it was about?
My first song?
Your very first song, yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay. It was called Don't Know. That was it. And so there's a few reasons why I started writing songs like that I can remember. I mean, I was 7, so I was like really little, and like the songs I would write were very like short little songs. Like they weren't full songs, with like verse, chorus, bridge type thing. But I started writing partially just because I was really curious about songs. Like I loved music and I loved singing and I loved listening to the radio. And so I was just super curious about where songs came from. And I was like, how do songs happen? So that was part of it. But another part of it was that I wanted to be Hannah Montana. Mm-hmm. And I was like dying. I was ready to be her. Like I wanted to be Hannah Montana full-fledged. And keep in mind I was 7.
Right. Yeah.
She was everything to me. And I thought she was so cool. And I was like, well, how am I knew I wanted to be a performer, but I was like, how am I going to do that without my own songs? Because she has her own songs. So, anyway, hi Nathan.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Anyways, so Don't Know, basically what I'm leading to is Don't Know, my first song that I wrote, was very similar to like some of the Hannah Montana songs. So like Hannah Montana songs were like very like, they were kind of meant for young kids, and they were like very poppy sounding. Like they had like lots of pop elements. And hi David and Anna.
Speaking of Bailey Hills Farm, we were just talking about them.
Yeah. So I'm playing for Bailey Hills Farm at the farmers market, but we'll get to that. But
we'll get to that in a minute.
Anyways, yeah. So that's sort of like why I wrote my first song, I guess. And so it was very much like Hannah Montana's songs were always about like sort of glitz and glam and fame, because her whole like thing was about being a famous teenager, and that's what the show was based on. Right. So like even though I had nothing to like relate to that with, I still wrote a song like sort of based off of that type of thing.
Yeah, well, that was your probably most influential frame of reference at that age.
Right, like she was my biggest like artist that I looked up to at the time.
Yeah. Well, when you're 7 years old, you and they say write what you know, and that's what you knew. So
exactly. Yeah, but that's funny. Thanks for asking about that.
Well, I know your sister, she plays the violin.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whoa. So, how do you know that? That's so cool.
So did you come from a musical family?
Well, not necessarily, like not in the way like I wouldn't necessarily say like, oh, I came from a musical family. Like my mom grew up playing piano, and my dad was like kind of in a band in college, like, and played bass like in a rock band. But like it wasn't, they never did music seriously. Like they never like pursued it or anything, or really like, to my knowledge, ever dreamed of being a, musician, artist, like doing that as a career. But they are just really supportive. But they have like completely like, normal jobs. My mom is a preschool teacher. She just got promoted. Congrats.
Oh. Congratulations to your mom. Go mom.
Yeah. But she like works with preschools, like that's always been her job. And then my dad is a project manager for like credit card processing companies. So they definitely have like just regular people, regular jobs, not necessarily like pursuing any kind of like creative career in that sense. But it was always what I wanted, like since I was so little, and that's just always what like grabbed my attention and like created like a spark for me. And my parents were like thankfully so supportive of that, and I'm really thankful for that. And so I started going to performing arts schools in middle school, and my sister did the same thing, and she does play violin, but her main thing is actually fashion design. So my sister loves fashion design, and she's actually gonna go to college for that. So
so you both took creative paths.
Yes, we are, which is fun. People ask us like all the time, like are your parents like doing fashion design or music or something?
Right. Yeah.
No.
No, that happens sometimes though. I've interviewed a lot of people and they have no background as far as like their family is not, they're totally in the opposite direction, and then their kids pursue careers in the arts. So it's interesting to see that.
Yeah.
And how that happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that I grew up in church, and I played in worship bands, like sort of right from the get-go, and like performed in church a lot. So I think that had a lot to do with it. Like that environment like helped me sort of get acclimated to playing music on stage and stuff. And so
kind of nurtured your talent and your love for music and performing.
Right. Yeah.
Well, right before you started high school, you were chosen to attend Grammy Camp in Nashville. So tell me what that is. Tell us what that's about, how you were chosen to do that, and
So Grammy Camp was a big turning point for me, because I'm from Tampa, Florida. I don't think I've mentioned that yet, but I'm not from Nashville originally. I always wanted to live here. I always wanted to come here, but I'm from Tampa, Florida. And so Tampa was just like what I knew, and until I was about 10 when I learned about Nashville and what was in Nashville. And then I like immediately just like, that's all I wanted, like to come here. And basically Grammy Camp is basically what it sounds like. It's put on by the Grammy Foundation, which is the same people putting on the Grammy Awards. And they have the Grammy Foundation is sort of a branch of the Grammys, and it functions to educate, students and young people that are trying to pursue a career in the music industry, and kind of help support that and help, continue to get new people in the door for it from all over the place. And so the Grammy Foundation is amazing, and I'm so thankful for it. And I'm actually still involved with the Grammy Foundation because they have a college level for it too. So I'm still involved with called Grammy U. So I'm still involved with Grammy U. And it's absolutely incredible, like what the Grammys do for education, for students that are up and coming and trying to have a career in the music industry in any sense, like whether they're trying to be, a music video director or a producer or whatever. And so Grammy Camp is something that the Grammy Foundation has for high schoolers. So it's like for people at that level. And some of the camps you have to apply for, and some of them you can kind of just sign up for. But the bigger camps are ones that you have to like audition for. And
you had to audition for this one, right?
So the one in Nashville that you're talking about is one that I auditioned for, and I was like the youngest person at the camp, because like, how like you were saying, I literally did it like as soon as I like could apply, like I applied. And so I was the youngest person at the camp. Most of the people at the camp were seniors in high school, and I think I was an incoming freshman. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I was the youngest one. But everyone was really nice to me, and it was so eye-opening to me to like come to Nashville. I had been to Nashville one time before that, but just to do like tourist things. Like I didn't really know how to like break into the business of music in Nashville.
Yeah, the singer-songwriting aspect of Nashville is completely separate from I mean, there's like two different Nashvilles. There's the singer-songwriter stuff, and then there's the touristy stuff. So
absolutely. Oh yes. And so like when I first came, I was just kind of doing the, normal tourist stuff.
Right.
But yeah, this was the second time I had ever come to Nashville for Grammy Camp, and it was so eye-opening to be able to work directly. It was, first of all, it was on campus at Belmont, which was my dream school, which is where I'm going now. I'm at Belmont, which is so cool. And that was my first time really like getting to work with anyone from Belmont. And I got to meet all of these kids that were older than me, but like also we were in the same age range, and they were all over the country. Some of them were from Nashville, but some of them were like from other places that were all trying to pursue a career similar to what I was trying to pursue. And it was really cool to see that. And I got to just meet so many like amazing. Oh, that's my mom.
Okay. Hi, Mom.
I got to meet so many incredible music industry executives that someone like me whose family is not in the music industry, and like I was young and from Tampa and had never gotten into a bigger scene like that before, like to just walk into like a historic studio on Music Row and meet all these people and talk to them and learn from them. I learned so much, and I actually still reference my notes from Grammy Camp sometime. Like if I'm wondering something, I took detailed notes.
Yeah. Well, I know you said that when you got there, a lot of the people that you met had already released music and you had not done that yet.
Yes.
So that was one of the things you took away from that is I need to put out some music. I need to put out a CD.
Absolutely. So I had not released anything, and I also had not really been like gigging. I hadn't been like hustling with gigging. Like I wasn't gigging professionally yet. Like I'd never like been paid money to play music, really. And then I had never actually gone into a studio and recorded and released music, like to that level that those kids were doing. And so that was, it's so true that you should surround yourself with people who are better than you or like are doing more than you are, so that you're being pushed to like be at that level, and that was so good for me because I was definitely like at the bottom of the totem pole, like at that camp. And so meeting all those,
you were younger, so
exactly. And so so when I went back home to Tampa, I was just like, Mom, Dad, I need to get in the studio immediately and record. And they were like, first of all, they were like, okay, what studio? Like, what studio are you going to record in? Like, this is Tampa. And then number two, what is an EP? An EP, for those who don't know, is just a short album. It's like that's what my projects have all been, are EPs, because I've never really released a full-length album, which is normally about like 12 songs. But every project I've released has been an EP because mine have been like 5 songs. But anyways, I was like, I need to go to a studio and record an EP, and I need to do it now. And I also need to start gigging a lot more often. And like we did it, like we found a studio and worked out like a deal and recorded a 5-song EP. And I started playing open mic nights, which is what Grammy Camp had recommended you do, to sort of get your foot in the door with different venues. And so I started playing open mic nights, and like one of the venues, I think it was the first open mic night I did after Grammy Camp, they like scheduled me to like, after I played the open mic night, they were like, hey, we want to actually book you for like an actual show. And so that really got me in the door, sort of in the Tampa music scene, because then like through that place I started meeting other venue bookers and like people who book music in Tampa. And then I eventually met Anna and David, who are the ones that I'm playing for at the farmer's market. But anyway,
You played for their they had a cafe or something, right?
Yeah,
You
so
played there.
I love them so much. So they, for those of you who don't know, Anna and David Bailey, they own Bailey Hills Farm. And that is the like the venue, what do you call it? That's like the tent I'll be at for the farmers market.
Right, you're gonna be at their booth.
Yeah, their booth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be with the Bailey Hills Farm booth, playing music for them, and they are amazing people and such great friends of mine. And yeah, I met them back in Florida when because I lived there for most of my life. I've been in Nashville for 2 years now, though. But yeah, I met them back in high school, and I actually met them at a different venue that I was playing music at, and they were there at my show just coincidentally. Like, they didn't know who I was, but they were there, and they had just opened their cafe a little bit out of town called Creative Souls Cafe, and they invited me to start playing there. And so I started doing once a month gigs for them for a while. Like, I think I was doing it for like a full year. Like, basically the whole time that they had the cafe, I think I was playing there. And so that was so much fun, and they were always so supportive, and they're like family to me now. Yeah. And yeah, then I moved to Nashville, and they ended up like moving and picking up and moving here, or not in Nashville, but close by, and starting their farm. And so they also have their YouTube channel too, so you guys should check that out. But
Bailey Hills Farm. Yeah,
on YouTube. Yeah, they post really often, and they're really cool videos. And yeah, they have these adorable baby chicks, and they're so cute. I love them.
Yeah, everybody check them out, because they subscribed to my channel a few minutes ago, so definitely subscribe to theirs. So, and I'm gonna subscribe to it as soon as we finish the interview.
Yeah, they're absolutely amazing. They're just great people, and they're so sweet with the best hearts, and they're so creative. Like, really, they think out of the box with everything, and they just have a lot of really cool things for sale. I know that. I'm really excited to see everything. This will be my first time really coming over to that part of town, and seeing them since they started it. So
well, that'll be really cool to be able to do that. And well, you mentioned you've been talking about Belmont. You received the Brad Paisley Endowment Scholarship.
I did.
To go to Belmont. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah. That was so cool. I love Brad Paisley. I didn't get to meet him or anything, but it was really special to like receive that award like in his name. Like, go to Belmont. I didn't get it beforehand. I ended up getting that scholarship after I was already attending Belmont. It was so cool. Especially since Belmont has been my dream school since I was like 10 or 11 years old. And the second I heard about it, I was like, that's where I'm going to school. Like, that's where I'm going to go to college.
Yeah.
And every time that we visited Nashville between like then and me moving here, we would always go to Belmont and visit and like meet with my friends, like who are professors there and everything, that I met at Grammy camp. And then Brad Paisley, he went to Belmont, and along with, there's so many amazing like legendary artists and songwriters that
there's a lot of very talented, very successful songwriters and musicians that have come out of Belmont. They have a really good reputation.
It's crazy too how Music Row is really filled with Belmont graduates, like executives on Music Row too. And it's so cool to be a part of that community. And I'm like so thankful for it too. But Brad Paisley went to Belmont, and I believe, if I'm correct, he received a scholarship to go there. And I think I've heard the story a few times. I think it was that he's pretty young, I think, when they offered him the scholarship. Because he was like a young star, like when he first started getting started. It's just really cool to get that from him, like in his name. So because
it was established to to give to students who showed promise.
Just like how he was, when he went, and so that was really special. And also Brad Paisley gives back a lot to Belmont, which is really cool. He opened up this store right next door to campus. I think it's just called The Store, and it's a grocery store for people in need. And I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's more like a food pantry. So like
I think I know what you're talking about. I think that it is. Yeah, because he and his wife did that recently, right? That was their okay.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Like he's always giving back. Like the school is a big part of that store. Like they like collaborated to put it together, and it's basically on our campus. Like it's like right there. So yeah, he's a cool guy.
So what has been your favorite venue to perform in Nashville so far?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I actually got asked that question the other day.
Oh yeah?
That's an interesting question. It's like hard to answer. So many venues here. And I've definitely not played every venue in Nashville. But
there's a lot.
Out of the ones that I have played, definitely I have like a top 3. So I love Live Oak on the Mumbrian. It's super close to like downtown and Broadway, but it's not right in downtown Broadway. It's a little off, and it's just a really like nice professional place. It's like really cool in there, and I've played there a bunch, and so I just feel really comfortable there. And I had a release show for one of my singles there with my full band, and that was really fun. It's just a really nice stage, and they always have it like put together really well.
Nice.
Thank you.
I agree. I think we're going to be hearing big things out of her. So
well, thank you so much. Anyways, Live Oak is super cool, and it's also like a great hub, you know, like to meet other people. I've met so many like other songwriters in town at Live Oak, and so that's a great like sort of networking place to like meet people, and it's just really nice. And it's nice too because there's tourists there as well, because it's good to have like those people there too, so that you actually have some people that are like maybe gonna be interested in your music, because a lot of times places that you play in Nashville, like your audience is all musicians, and it's not actual like prospective fans.
And you need that, because you need those people to listen to your music and buy your music, hopefully, and build your fan base.
Right. And so it's nice to play a place like Live Oak, because you have a good mix of like all of it. And then I love Two Old Hippies, which is in the Gulch. And Two Old Hippies is a store, but they also have a stage like in their store. It's super cool. And I had my whole EP release show there at Two Old Hippies. And they have guitars for sale in the back too. They're owned by the same people that own Bedell guitars, which is a type of guitar. And so they have a bunch of Bedell guitars for sale. And my first real guitar that I had was a Bedell guitar. So I love Two Old Hippies. They're amazing. And then also the Listening Room. The Listening Room is one that I played for the first time this year with Song Suffragettes. It's also really close to downtown. And that is one that like pretty much everyone who plays at the Listening Room is like, that's one of my favorite venues in Nashville. It's so special, and like they're also really professional and really like on top of it, and like know how to do live music really well. So it was really special to play there. So I gave you 3. I know you asked.
Well, they're all different. You know, it's probably hard to pick a favorite because they all have different atmospheres. The only one that I've been to of the ones that you mentioned was Two Old Hippies, and it's definitely has its own vibe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like the fact that you're in a store like makes it a totally different thing, because it's not like a normal like, you know, venue, but it's really cool, really unique.
Yeah. Well, you played at the Bluebird when you were just 14. That was your first time playing there. So tell me about what that first experience was like.
Okay, yes. So that was actually during that trip that I had mentioned earlier, where that was my first time ever coming to Nashville, and I was doing a lot of like the stereotypical tourist things that like is on your list to like do when you come to Nashville. And most people have on their list to like visit the Bluebird, like go see a show at the Bluebird, because the Bluebird is such an iconic venue. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention the Bluebird.
Yeah.
Why did I not say the Bluebird? The Bluebird. Okay.
Well, that probably goes without saying. So, you know.
I've never played like a real show there. I've only done their open mic nights before. It's really hard to get like a show booked at the Bluebird because they're so like, you know, so booked up all the time. Yeah. But anyways, I've done the open mic night a few times, and the Bluebird is literally magical. Like, I feel the magic when I'm in the Bluebird Cafe. You just like feel it, like you get goosebumps, and it's so cool. But yeah, I've only ever played like 1 or 2 songs at a time at the Bluebird because I'm always there for like an open mic night or something. But anyways, yeah, the first time I played the Bluebird open mic was my first trip in Nashville, and we like had on our list to see the Bluebird, but when I found out they had a regular open mic night, I was like, well, why don't I just try to play that?
Yeah.
I'm a songwriter, so I was like, let's try it. And I was only 14, but we did it, and it's hard to get into the open mic night. Now they do like a call-in thing where you like can call in and try to get a slot. Yeah. But I think back then, if I remember correctly, you literally had to run for it. Like, you had to get there, and they had like sort of guards or like security people like keeping the like crowd of people wanting to play the open mic night like off the premise of the building. Wow. And then like, once like the time started where like they would allow people to start, you know, to start getting in line, they would just let everyone like run like into the line. I think that's what happened when I was 14. They've changed it since then. Now it's a call-in thing.
Yeah. So before it was like every man or woman for themselves.
Just running. Yeah. And like with their guitars, like to get in line.
Yeah.
And then you had to like wait in line, like out the front door to like see if you like got a spot. And it worked out, I guess, because I ended up getting to play when I was 14. And it was really cool. And I remember I was wearing cowgirl boots and a stunt dress. Yeah. And so I looked very like stereotypical Taylor Swift, like, you know, like.
See, I would consider that totally appropriate. So.
Yeah, it was just funny, like a little girl, like dressed like like that. It was funny, but I believe there might be video from that night up on my YouTube channel.
There is. I saw it last night. I did.
Yay! Oh my gosh! I know that there's more recent, or slightly more recent footage of me at the Bluebird too, but I think that first time is up.
It is. It is. I can. Yeah, it is. I'll just go ahead and it is. It's up there.
Little surgeon views of this interview, like 14-year-old Sarah. So I don't even remember what I sang, but
I'm trying to recall what it is.
It's a song I wrote when I was 14.
Yeah, I remember. I can hear it in my head, but I can't remember what the name of it is. It was an upbeat song, and you were talking about. It was like you liked this guy, and you were
about a boy.
Yeah, it was about a boy.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and
I have to go back and look at it because to refresh my memory, I could kind of hear it in my head, but I can't remember the name of it.
That is oh my gosh, I can't remember.
It was interesting to see you as a 14-year-old performing at the Bluebird, and then to see you at, I think it was 18, performing, and that you could really see how you had grown. In those 4 years as an artist.
Thank you so much. That's so cool.
Yeah. So tell me about, you received a guitar last year at Cma Fest.
I did.
A free guitar.
Yes, I have it. I have it here.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So, someone had mentioned, I think, like CMA. I don't know if they said CMA Fest or something, but yeah, last year. Unfortunately, CMA Fest was canceled this year. It was like for a good reason.
Everything was canceled this year.
Everything was canceled. Exactly. But I was so bummed about CMA Fest because like I loved going to CMA Fest. You were the last slot that night, barely got in. Oh, that's my mom saying, we like barely made it into the open mic.
Wow.
Night. Like run like and grab a spot thing. It was crazy. But anyways, so back to CMA Fest. So last year was my first time attending CMA Fest. And it always happens on my birthday every single year. And like the first week of June is when it always happens. And that's just, so it actually should be happening right now. This should be the first day of it, but it's just not happening.
Yeah.
But anyways, last year, like basically I would grow up in Tampa watching CMA Fest online from a distance.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. But anyways, watching CMA Fest online from a distance during my birthday, and I'm like, why can't I be there? Like, I would pitch a fit every year. Like with my parents, I'd be like, why can't I go for my birthday? And like we never did it. And so finally I'm like living here now. So I was able to go last summer, and I think I was working at the Country Music Hall of Fame, so like shortly before CMA Fest too. And like the Country Music Hall of Fame is right downtown where CMA Fest happens.
Okay.
But, anyways, I probably shouldn't say this, but I actually quit my job at Country Music Hall of Fame just so I could attend CMA Fest.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. So,
I was so adamant. I had been adamant my whole life that I was going to CMA Fest. And then my job was like, sorry, like we don't give off days on CMA Fest. And I was like,
yeah, hey, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, but I'm really glad I did it because I got a free Taylor guitar.
Yeah.
Basically what happened was I was at the Radio Disney Country stage at CMA Fest with my best friend Cameron Palmer, who's also an artist like me. And we were there together, like to do CMA Fest together. And anyways, we were standing like right next to the Radio Disney Country stage. We were there early, and so like we were just there waiting for it to start. And there wasn't really a crowd yet because like we were there pretty early. Like we were there at like 10 in the morning. So like it was like before the music had actually started, and they were just letting guests in. So we were sitting there, and there wasn't a big crowd, and I was like really dressed up. Like I was dressed like I was a performer.
Yeah.
And I just, in my mind, because I had never been to CMA Fest, and Cameron, my friend, had.
Yeah.
And I'd never been, so I thought everyone who attended CMA Fest dressed like that. Like I thought that all the attendees dressed up like they were Carrie Underwood. Like I thought that, like I thought that was what was expected. But then I got there, and everyone was just in like jeans and a t-shirt, and I was like very like dressed up like I was
ready for the stage.
Even though I wasn't scheduled to be on stage.
Right.
But one of the producers from backstage, when we were waiting out there before the crowd had come, a producer like came up to me and like tapped me on the shoulder, and I didn't set it up right. Me and Cameron were talking. About how next year we wanted to be playing CMA Fest, and it's like, it's canceled this year. So like this would have been next year, but we were standing there talking about like next year we're going to be on stage, like, talking each other up or like whatever, how we want to perform. And also I had been wanting a Taylor guitar for years. Like I've always wanted a Taylor guitar, but they're kind of, expensive, and they're really nice guitars. So like I had never actually gotten one. But I was standing there, and a producer from backstage came and tapped me on the shoulder as we were talking about wanting to play at CMA Fest next year. And he was like, hey, want to go on stage and play a song later? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, he said, do you play guitar first? He asked me if I play guitar. And then I was like, yes. And then he was like, would you want to like go on stage and play? And I was like, actually, like, it's about time. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I would never ask.
And so basically they kind of set it up. I had to like sign a form like saying, like for, I guess it was like a press release type form where they're like allowed to like take pictures or whatever. Yeah. And they had set it up like a guitar giveaway where the artist on stage, who was Alana Springsteen, who's another like up and coming amazing pop country artist here in Nashville. And I actually work with her company now. I like just help them out. I just like help them out sort of behind the scenes with some stuff. Yeah. But anyways, she and Betsy Spina, who's the host of Radio Disney, they like called me up on stage after the show had started. So there was like a big crowd. And they didn't tell me they were giving me a guitar. They just asked me if I played guitar. Yeah. So then I like got up on stage and I thought I was just going to sort of play a song or something. They were just going to like give me a guitar to like play and like sing a song, and that was going to be it. It ended up being a duet with Alana, which was interesting because we'd never sung or met. Like we've never sung together, but we just like whipped out American Honey, and we just sang American Honey on the spot for the first time together in front of the crowd at CMA Fest. And then after that whole thing was done, they were like, "Want to keep the guitar?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happened. It was wild. And that was actually my first day at Cma Fest, because Cma Fest lasts for like five days, I think, normally. Yeah, it's like a full like week almost. And so that was my first day, first time going, and like I got a guitar.
I think you made a good decision quitting your job. I mean, because that's a once in a lifetime thing, and with it being canceled this year. Yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah.
Well, since your friend Nathan is commenting again.
Nathan.
Well, since the coronavirus and everything, I know that you started doing Facebook Live shows and performing your songs.
Yeah.
So have you been able to find a new audience now with doing that?
Yeah, a little bit. It's been really interesting. Obviously there's a lot of like sort of fear and concern in the music industry as a whole right now, as far as like what's going to happen with live shows.
Right.
And so like, you know, there is that, but I decided to try the live stream thing like as a regular, like I've live streamed shows before, or like I've live streamed, you know, on Instagram or whatever before, but as far as like a regular thing, I had never really done that. And so I decided to try it because I saw like everyone else was doing it, like all, you know, a bunch of other artists were doing it. So I decided to do Facebook just because people's attention spans seem to be pretty good, like compared to Instagram, like on Facebook. So I was like, you know, if I'm going to do like a longer live stream type thing, I'll do Facebook. And I also wanted to just grow more on Facebook. I kind of have a bigger following on Instagram than on Facebook. So anyways, this is like a bunch of behind the scenes stuff I'm talking about right now. But basically I ended up deciding to do weekly Facebook live streams, and I just started weekly Instagram live streams as well, but I wanted to do them first on Facebook exclusively for a while. And it definitely like has been going really well. You know, there's some people that like make sure to tune in every week, you know, and it's one of the coolest things about it is that since it's online, that is broadening the opportunity for a lot of other people to like watch me and like my music, as opposed to me like going to a physical like stage and playing like physically in front of people, because then it limits it to like whoever's in that city
and who hears about it.
Hears about it. And so doing the live stream is really cool because I'll get people commenting saying like, "Hey, I'm watching you from Canada," or "Oh, I'm watching you from Ireland," or "I'm watching you from just another state," you know, and like just all these different places. And it's really cool too because people can share the live stream like while I'm doing it, which shows me then to all of their friends on Facebook. So it's really cool. But yeah, I do those every Thursday at 9/8 Central on my Facebook page if you guys want to tune in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, she does a good job every week. I've watched a lot of your Facebook lives, and it's you do a good job with those. And
I try and take requests as much as I can, because I think it's fun to like, you know, play a song that a follower wants to hear. But it's funny because sometimes like I'll get last minute requests, or sometimes I'll get like requests where it's like I've never covered that before ever, and so like I have to like learn it for the live.
Right.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that you're doing that. And a lot of people that I've interviewed do the Facebook Lives for their music, because especially right now, that's really the only way they have to perform.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so excited about this farmers market because it's really the first time I'm going to be like doing a live, like in-person show.
Oh,
like, you know, it's different because it's not like, you know, necessarily a venue with a stage, but it's going to be so fun, like getting to stand there with my guitar and like have people like
perform, actually. Yeah.
It's going to be really fun. I do have one other thing scheduled before that in Nashville at Live Oak on Thursday, which is the same night as my Facebook Live, but the show at Live Oak just got moved. It was at 10 p.m., but they moved it to 6 p.m.
So you're going to be at Live Oak at 6
I'll be at Live Oak at 6 Thursday, which is going to be really interesting. I mean, it'll be socially distanced, and I'm bringing my own microphone. There's like all sorts of different Sundays on Instagram. Yeah, I do my Instagram live stream on Sundays at 3 o'clock Central Time. But anyways, it's just these shows coming up, like these two shows, the Farmers Market and the Live Oak one are going to be like the first times that I've been like performing in a long time. So it's going to be really fun, and it'll all be like very safe, and I'm bringing my own equipment for everything, and it's all socially distanced. But
I was going to ask you about that with the social. How are they going to do that? I know you said that they were going to be following those guidelines.
Yeah. So at Live Oak, I'm bringing my own mic, which is be great because then I'm not sharing mics with other people that are performing. I'll be wearing a mask anytime that I'm not singing. And there's only I'm playing in a round, like Nashville does, like writers rounds a lot with multiple writers on stage, and normally it's three or four writers on stage at a time, but this time it's just going to be 2 people, so it's just going to like be me and one other person, and it's a big stage there, so we're going to be like spread out on the stage, and then Live Oak has like social distancing rules and stuff in place there, so like their workers are going to be like sort of staying away from everyone, and they have like a capacity limitation because like we're on, I guess, phase 2, I think, in Nashville of our like
I think so,
and so I think they're supposed to stay at like 50% capacity, something like that, so the capacity is limited, and I think there's also like hand sanitizing stations, so like there's a lot of different like things, and I'll basically just walk in, play, and leave, like instead of what I mean, like hanging out or whatever. So that's sort of the plan. It's very interesting to think through all of that, like because that's not stuff that you normally have to think about.
No, hand sanitizing stations probably wouldn't be a bad idea on any given day, whether we have the coronavirus or not.
It's true. Absolutely. But it's very interesting to like think through all of that, and like live music just started to like be allowed again in a really limited way, but luckily like I am a solo artist, like even though I have a band, like I do have a band that I can perform with, but I can also perform by myself, and so that is really coming in handy right now, like when it's like it's against the rules to be on stage with a band right now. You need to be able to perform by yourself because they're obviously, like you said, they're limiting how many people can be on stage or even watching. So exactly. So it's gonna be really interesting, but I'm just like really excited to like be on a stage again and like be in front of people in some form again. It's gonna be cool.
Well, and then you mentioned obviously the farmers market on Saturday. So how are they going to do the social distancing with that? Are they limiting the number of booths this year that can be up? Do you know, or if they are?
Question. I actually don't really know what their rules are. I mean, they're out of town from Nashville.
I
mean, You live there, right?
I live there. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not, do you know, like, if there, I mean, I know that there's definitely going to be like precautions being taken. Like I'll definitely be like out of the way of everyone. I'll be where you can hear me playing and you can like see me, but like I won't really be like, typically at a gig, I like go up and do like not a formal meet and greet normally, but like I'll go up and like, you know, meet people, like shake hands and like, you know, pass phones back and forth to like do whatever.
Take pictures and
and I'll kind of be like staying away from that kind of thing. I'll definitely still like chat if anyone wants to, but like from a distance.
Right, yeah, 6 feet apart.
Yeah. But I do know that that places like Monterey and you know, places outside of Nashville are I think a little less strict right now than Nashville is being, because they have higher numbers in Nashville, because Nashville has a lot more people and it's a big, you know, city.
Right. Monterey's definitely more laxed. I know for a while with the farmers market, they were doing like, and I don't even know how this worked because I wasn't up there when they were doing it, but I know that they were doing like drive-through type things where people would.
I saw that.
Okay.
I don't know. I really doubt they're still doing that.
I don't think they are. Okay, let's see. Bailey Hills Farm, she'll be set up center stage of the market. Okay, so you're going to be away from everything.
Cool.
So
awesome. Well, center stage, is there like an actual stage or just like in the middle of it?
I guess it'll be in the middle of it unless somebody's planning on building a stage, because and we will rope off that area. Okay, well that's good.
Okay, amazing. Yeah,
you're just gonna be kind of in there by yourself, like.
Yeah, they'll have it. It'll be super safe, but it'll be like still where people can enjoy and like and hear it and see it and everything. So.
And we're all wearing masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Bailey Hills Farm, do you know if there is a place for her to plug up her guitar or anything there? I can't remember.
I'll have to like talk with them too about that. But I don't know if I'll play acoustic or if I'll be like somehow plugged in. But I'm good with doing whatever. It's going to be really fun regardless. It's going to be a blast. And have you guys, did you say you guys have not had live music before?
Not that I recall. I mean, there's people that go up there and play and practice and that sort of thing. I don't know that we've actually had live music during a farmer's market.
Gotcha.
Before. Definitely no professional musicians that I'm aware of.
Gotcha.
And,
well, cool. And
he's bringing a trailer for you to play on. Oh, okay. Well, that'd be good.
Oh, a trailer. Oh, okay.
Cool. So that, I was wondering how that was going to work because I knew there wasn't a stage.
They've got it all figured out.
Yeah.
They always do.
Well, you're being taken care of. So, oh, yes, we have all of that. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I wondered how that was going to work. So I'm glad that they're on here today to tell me, because I had no idea how you were going to be set up.
I was just excited to like get out there and bring my guitar and, you know, whatever I can and just do whatever I can to play. Right.
So, good. Well, I'm glad that they're taking care of you. Don't just come and enjoy yourself. So they've got it figured out.
They always do. They're incredible. They're amazing. If you guys don't know Anna and David yet, you have to meet them and check out their farm. They are really cool people.
Yeah. I don't think they were there when I was there last year. And I know I mentioned earlier that I was there a couple of times last year selling my jewelry. But I don't think that they were.
Yeah, no, they just we are growing the market to be a
destination. Yeah, good.
Yeah, they just kind of got their farm set up. Like they recently, you know, moved there, I think this year. Like, and started getting it going. And
Sarah is a professional. Yeah, I was referring to her as a professional musician. So I definitely consider her a professional.
But anyways, they're definitely new to town. But they'll definitely, you know, do everything to get the farmers market growing more, and so it's going to be really fun. I'm excited to help out and come see it.
Absolutely. I'm glad that they're doing that, because we've been trying to grow that for a while now, and get more vendors involved and get more people coming by to see the vendors. And yeah, I'm glad that they're actually, okay. Rafferty Cleary is working with us to make the market awesome. Rafferty, I know Rafferty. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, he's doing a good job as the cultural administrator, I think is his title. So he's been doing remarkable things with the farmers market, and then we have a depot museum. He's been doing a lot of really cool things with that as well. So
very cool. Wow.
Moved here in January. Wow. Okay, so they haven't been doing it long.
Nope. Yeah, I mean they've been like, really, like, for as long as I've known them, like back in Florida, they've always been all about community and like growing a like something where people can feel like welcome and and kind of taken care of, and that's always been their passion. Like they love people and they love having a product or something that the community that they're in will benefit from, and so they'll definitely bring that.
I'm excited. I think it's a great thing, and hopefully you can come back from time to time and perform, do meet and greets when all the restrictions are lifted.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to like come whenever.
Yeah.
Let me know.
We've painted and cleaned it all up, so it's pretty. I'm gonna have to go back up there because I haven't been there since last year. Wow, so it's
come check it out.
I may come Saturday.
Yay! Good. I just love farmers markets too in general. Farmers markets are so fun, especially like in a town that like Monterey's kind of smaller, right? Like, it's a smaller,
very small town, yeah.
Especially in. I'm from Florida, and I always, like, when I was in Florida, I always looked at Tennessee and was like, oh, like, that's where the really great farms are, and that's where the really great, we'll love it to maybe get a
few songs or video from the market Saturday. Definitely.
Yeah, I could live stream some of it. I got a request for that from somebody on Instagram too, was requesting that I live stream some of it on social media. Yeah. So I probably will do that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your album a little bit, because I'm sure you're going to play some songs Saturday from your new EP.
Yeah.
A Long Way to Go.
Yeah. So I released A Long Way to Go earlier this year. I worked on it for a really long time, and it is my third EP that I've released. So it's my third project that I've released so far in my career. Mm-hmm. And it's the first one that I completely did in Nashville. Like, I recorded it here. And I did like the co-writes here, and all of the release shows and the music videos, and all of it was done here in Nashville. And so that is really cool, because the previous ones were all done in Tampa, with studios there and stuff. But my producer for A Long Way to Go was Kevin Monahan, and he's awesome. He's a young producer here in town. He graduated from Belmont, and he is a guitarist for my friend Anna Voss, and so he tours with her. They open for Willie Nelson and play the Grand Ole Opry, and so they're just amazing. And yeah, Kevin produced A Long Way to Go for me, and like played a lot of the instruments on it, and was just an incredible person to have, like, guide me through and help with all of it. So he was like my right-hand man throughout the whole project. And then I also had a lot of fun with like the people I collaborated on with that project. I got to bring in some of my best friends to record on it. I mentioned Cameron Palmer earlier. She co-wrote one of the songs with me and came in and sang harmonies on it. That song is called Whiplash. Yeah, and then my other best friend, Josh Alfano, did the guitar solo on Whiplash on the recording, and he's also my guitar player and one of my guitar players in my band, my live band. And then my other really good friend, Rocco Fiorentino, who just graduated from Belmont. He's an incredible producer himself, and he's also a piano player, and he laid down some awesome piano and organ tracks on Joshua and on Whiplash. And so it was just really special to like bring in these like close friends of mine to do that. And then I also got to do there's only 2 co-writes on the album. Like I wrote all the songs myself, but only 2 of the songs had like other people write with me on them. So one of them was Whiplash that I wrote with Cameron, and then the other one is Red Light that I wrote with Anthony L. Smith. He is amazing. He's one of my best friends, to be honest. Like I love him. He's like a really good friend of mine, but he has been in Nashville for a long time, and he is a hit songwriter, and he writes a lot for Chris Young, among like other people. But I don't know how I got lucky enough to meet Anthony and be friends with him, but he's incredible, and he helped me write Red Light, and so that's on my EP too. And it was just so much fun. Out of all of my projects, this EP was the one that I feel like I put the most time into. Like I feel like I gave it the most space to like really be creative with it and make it like what I wanted it to be. You know, because my past projects, I feel like I always kind of rushed them more than I should have. This one, I feel like I sat with enough to make it what I wanted it to be. And it was just really fun, the whole process of releasing it. I did a few release shows, like, because I put out some singles from it before I released the full thing. So we had release shows for it. And then I got to do a really fun music video for Drive Fast. Off the EP. Yeah, I did that with Brave Enough Productions here in Nashville, and they're incredible. They really worked with me like a lot to like really well to really make my vision come true for it. They're very artist friendly. They're super creative, really cool. And yeah, you guys should check out that video if you haven't seen it before. It's Drive Fast. It's on my YouTube channel.
It is a really fun video. It is. Yeah.
It's like a miniature red Corvette.
Yeah.
In the video, and I'm on it driving.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun.
So I know you're going to play something before we go. Would you like to play something from your new album?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
I actually have this one song that I wrote on the album. Oh, thanks, Nathan. He's a real fan.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure this is tuned.
No, take your time. It's fun.
I think it's tuned. Yeah, all right. So I actually have this song on my EP called Real Cowboy.
Okay.
And I thought it would be appropriate for the farmer's market because it's talking about a farmer in the in the song. So basically, this song is on my EP, A Long Way to Go. And I believe it's the second track on the EP. Okay. And I wrote this song by myself, and I wrote it about a few people. There's like 3 men that like were around me growing up that were all real cowboys. Like they were like legit. And one was my papa. Most of the songs about my papa. So my mom's dad, he's my granddad, and he like this song like really is him like in a song. But there's also a few references to like an actual like farmer who like had a farm down the street from my house in Florida. And I actually opened for the Bellamy Brothers once on his property. Like he was throwing like a festival at his farm. And I got to open for them because of him, really. Yeah. And then also
what an amazing opportunity that was.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then that guy's name is Dale. Okay. So then Dale's cousin played harmonica for me a lot in Tampa, and his name was Brent. So Brent and Dale and my papa are like all in this song.
They all inspired Real Cowboy.
Yeah, because they're all real cowboys.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Okay.
He runs a farm on Highway 301, proud owner of a beat-up pickup truck. And if you drive past Waffle House at 5 a.m., he'll be parked out front. Southern drawl like Tupelo, overalls and tobacco. I know it sounds like a story, but I ain't making this up, 'cause he's a real cowboy from the good old days. He's a real cowboy, saved by amazing grace. He's got the boots and the hat, but it ain't for show, 'cause he's been working in the field since the rooster crowed. He smells like dirt and whiskey on a summer day. He's a real cowboy, and God made him that way. He can play harmonica like you ain't never heard. He said he taught himself how to play growing up Sunday morning walking to church. He's read the good book 20 times. He's almost got it memorized, and he bows his head to pray every night. 'Cause he's a real cowboy from the good old days. He's a real cowboy, saved by amazing grace. He's got the boots and the hat, but it ain't for show, 'cause he's been working in the field since the rooster crowed. He smells like dirt and whiskey on a summer day. He's a real cowboy, and God made him that way. Yeah. He's a hard-working man. He's coming up on 86, but he's in pretty good shape for the shape he's in. 'Cause he's a real cowboy from the good old days. He's a real cowboy, saved by amazing grace. He's got the boots and the hat, but it ain't for show, 'cause he's been working in the field since the rooster crowed. He smells like dirt and whiskey on a summer day. He's a real cowboy, and God made him that way. He's a real cowboy, and God made him that way. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank
You
you.
got an awesome voice. You really do, and you're a very talented songwriter.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing you at the farmers market on Saturday.
Oh, thank you.
So, to reiterate, to recap, your new album is called A Long Way to Go.
Yeah.
Do you have any physical copies of your EP, or is it just you do?
You know,
Okay.
I'll bring some. I'll bring some to the farmers market, and like maybe I could leave some over by David, by the Bailey Hills farm.
Yeah.
Or like over by where I'm standing or something. But yeah, I'll definitely bring some. They're normally $5 a piece.
Okay.
You can also like get it for $5 digitally, but I do have physical copies. I normally sign them for people, like, you know, when they buy them. And so, like, I can try to do that socially distanced style.
Or you could pre-sign them. You could just pre-sign them. Yeah. You could just sign your name. Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe some time.
Yeah. But I'll definitely bring some of them. I have some physical copies too of my last EP that I released called Dust, but I do have physical copies, and I haven't really had the chance to like do anything with the A Long Way to Go physical CDs, because right when I got them, like shortly after, no, literally right when I got them, like the pandemic started, and so I haven't really been able to, you know, really do anything with them. I don't really have an online store yet where people, like, I do have a website with links to all of it where you can find it digitally, but I don't really have like a streamlined way yet where people can go on my website and buy them, but I always sell them at my shows. So that's a good point. I will have them.
No, I think that would be the perfect place to have them. And honestly, you know, Rafferty might be willing to have some on hand at the Depot Museum to
Oh,
sell. That might be something for you to check into. I don't want to put him on the spot or anything, but I kind of am. So
well, thank you so much. I'll definitely like look into it.
yeah, well, have your friends to talk to him about that, because that, to me, that seems like that would be a good place to have them as well, especially right now with, you're not really playing a lot of venues. So
exactly. Yeah. Normally I sell my CDs at live shows. So yeah.
right. Yeah. So that's, you can stream it, and you have physical copies that you will have at the farmers market on Saturday, June 6th, which I believe is also your birthday.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It is. It's my birthday. And so that's part of the reason, like, people wanted me to live stream it on I think you guys have one already, but I'll give you one. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you have t-shirts too.
I do have t-shirts. I think I have t-shirts here in Nashville with me. Yes, okay. I do have them, because I can't ever remember if I have them here in Nashville or if I have them in Florida. Right. But I do have them here, yes. And so I can bring t-shirts as well.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, definitely.
I just got those like this year. So those are my first t-shirts I've ever had. But
yeah.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
The farmers market on Saturday.
We were talking about the birthday thing.
Oh yeah, it's your birthday Saturday. Yeah, that's
like I keep forgetting because of quarantine, it's like throwing me off, and I don't know like what month it is anymore.
The days are running together, and I know, I get it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if I really feel like it's my birthday, but yeah, I guess it is, and I'm gonna like. People were requesting that I live stream it because I like mentioned that it was on my birthday, and like people on Instagram were like wanting to have like a like live stream like sort of party thing for my birthday. So I might like do it so that people can see the farmers market, and like we can have best of both worlds. It'll be great.
Yeah. And you want your music to be out there too. So if you're performing.
Yeah, I can live stream it. Yeah,
live stream would be a really good idea. But yeah, so you're performing from 11 to 2, right, at Central Time at the farmers market.
Yeah.
Okay.
The plan.
Okay, that's kind of a long time. I mean, it's good for us, but for you, that's a long time.
I'll definitely take little like breaks. I'm used to doing like 4-hour cover gigs.
Okay,
that's what I did in Tampa. I think at David and Anna's cafe, I would do 3-hour sets, which is what I'm doing at the farmers market. But a lot of the venues I played like in high school in Tampa, I did 4-hour cover gigs, and I actually have not really done 4-hour cover gigs since coming to Nashville, because Nashville doesn't have as many of those type things happening. Like Nashville has a lot more like listening room, writers round type gigs that are like a little shorter. But I'm used to playing like longer cover gigs for sure.
Okay. Well, hopefully the weather will cooperate. Hopefully it's not raining and.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think about that. Oh
yeah,
no.
I mean, you'll be under a roof, but still, hopefully it's the weather is nice and people want to come out.
Right. Exactly. That would suck if it was pouring, but
yeah. Well, I know the farmers market starts at 8 a.m.
Okay.
But you won't be performing until 11. So
yeah, I think it's over an hour drive for me to like get out.
It is. It's close to 2 hours.
Yeah, close to 2
hours.
An
hour and a half is about average.
Yeah. And so I'll definitely like want to get there too, like early, but like before my set. Like I want to get there. Oh my goodness. But I'll definitely want to get there before my set to get set up and everything.
Right.
So, yeah, it'll definitely like, take me. I'll have like quite a bit of sort of prep time to like get out there. So
yeah, you got drive time, prep time. Yeah. So you'll have to leave out early enough to do all that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll probably be leaving at like 8 a.m. or something.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that sounds about right, because depending on the traffic.
Yeah, so
hour and a half to 2 hours.
I'll be there at 8 a.m. in spirit. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for this interview. This was so much fun. I think everyone who watched it had fun.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. You had all of your facts straight. You were amazing.
Well, I tried. I did try. No, I hope that you'll come back on.
Absolutely.
Good luck at the farmers market. I can't wait to see you perform live. You guys, if you want to find out anything else about Sarah, her website is sarahmoreymusic.com.
Yes.
Sarah with an H.
Yes. Yeah, I think, can you guys see my name on the screen here? I don't know how to point at it. There it is. Yeah.
There it is. It's right there.
It's like a mirror. It's like backwards.
It is backward. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But yeah, it's my name with music added onto it.
Right.
And that's how all my socials are too. All my socials are at Sarah Morey Music. Right.
That's really been convenient too, trying to research you and everything, because all of your Facebook, your Instagram, all of that is the same. It's Sarah Morey Music.
Yes, everything. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this should be up on YouTube pretty soon after we end the broadcast.
Awesome.
And I'll send you the link to the stream, and then you can share it with everyone. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I can't wait to see everyone too. Yeah. I'm excited. All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. You come back anytime.
Thank you. Of course I will. Yeah. All right. Well, have a good one. Thanks for watching.
You too.